Good morning! Good morning! I'm back from prison. I've been released. I've never been banned before on Twitch, so I had no idea how many integrations I would need to fix and how many would still be broken after the ban was lifted. After 1,000 years in prison, I am just like 50 Cent. I was supposed to serve 4 to 8 years for dealing cocaine, but I did 6 months of community service and now bulletproof. It also turns out that when you get banned, it deletes every single one of your highlights. And so I'm kind of upset about that. I don't like the highlights should stay there because highlights are just like longer clips. But all of my highlights have been nuked. 6 years of highlights have been nuked off of my channel. And I didn't even have 100 hours of them, so that new system didn't fucking apply to me. So, yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I don't know how many of those highlights managed to get ported to YouTube at this point, so that kind of annoys me. It's kind of pathetic. Twitch hate, yeah, right. I also find it very interesting to have gotten a 1-day suspension from a harassment mob that was very clearly coordinating a mass reporting campaign, as shown by many screenshots from Stray Wolf. Many screenshots of people, you know, wishing I would die and also reporting my Twitch and YouTube. And it's interesting because the person that they're championing for during this mass reporting campaign of my channels literally does fetish content on their Twitch stream. They do, like, when you watch Anna Valen's Twitch stream and they're burping, that's not just them being disgusting. That's a fetish. They are making you participate in their fetish. Because that's what they get off on. Which is really weird. Which is really strange. I know there's a bunch of people who are watching Anna's stream and they're like, wow, this constant burping is disgusting and I had to suffer through this. And it's like, yeah, not only did you have to suffer through the constant burping, but you were made an unwitting participant in this man's fetish. So you were basically raped if you think about it. And then like all the people, again, like trying to figure out my name and how it has like Nazi affiliations. How many times have I looped on how my name is from fucking Xenosaga, and then I closed my eyes and just made up my last name? There's no meaning, you freaks. Come the fuck on. And then, as if like divine intervention, I got tagged in some of my replies, people trying to revive the like Shadman loop. I was like, come the fuck on. I just finished with Synthetic Man's audience. I just finished dealing with Vice, and now I have to deal with you guys looping on another fucking lie? What do you want? Do you want Null to have to apologize to me publicly a second fucking time? Holy shit. Holy shit, just stop lying about me, I swear to Christ. I was like, yes, I did want art from Shadman back in the day. I thought he was just some sort of fucking meme artist. I didn't know that he did actual minor drawings. That's disgusting. And when I found out, I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't want art from someone like that, huh? And this is the part where some people, understandably, won't believe me. I forgot about it at one point because my memory's dog shit. And I reiterated, I was like, oh yeah, you know, I'd like art from that guy. And my chat was like, Kirsche, you fucking retard. Kirsche, we told you about this guy. What are you doing? And I was like, oh yeah, sorry, chat. And ever since then, I've kind of like embedded it in my mind. That name bad. That name did bad thing. Like, holy shit. Holy fuck. And like, whenever people try to lie about it, they leave out the part where like chat corrected me when I forgot. Because they want to paint me in like the worst light possible. And I've left those tweets up. Those tweets from like, you know, adding him in like 2021 or whatever, they're still there. I'm not gonna delete those because deleting them would prove that I'm trying to hide something, and I'm not. And that's kind of like, I don't know if that's autism or if that's just me being a stubborn weirdo, because it was the same thing with like the Nazi retweet thing. Like once I was informed of what was in the picture and why people were attacking me, I was like, well, if I don't delete it, they're gonna keep calling me a Nazi. But if I delete it, they're going to keep calling me a Nazi who's hiding the evidence. It's a lose-lose situation. So and I did end up unretweeting it, and wow! What happened? I was still a Nazi! Wow, it did absolutely fucking nothing! Holy shit, who could have seen that coming? Except for me. That happened to you too. Might have been a Twitter error. I hope it was just a Twitter error because like this happened before and it's why I put like 5 different fucking safety measures on my Twitter. Time to beef up passwords. Oh, I changed it. Don't worry. Anytime I get a security alert, I'm paranoid enough to be like, well, time to change password anyway. Kirsche's behind 11 proxies. I'm behind 300 layers of irony. Someone tell Foxu. She still has Crime Boss partner link on Kick. Oh fuck. Hey, thanks. Let me go see how to fix that. I don't know how to fix that.
Stand with the Foxu.
I don't even know how to get to my stream on Kick. It's been months since I've been here. Let's see. Maybe I just gotta go to like Kick's main page and then I search for myself. Search for Kirsche. I can't spell my own name. I haven't watched like all of Asmongold's coverage of my situation, but I poked into his stream for a second and the way he was mauling over how to spell my name was probably the funniest thing I've seen this week. Thanks for the year of last important info, cursed knowledge. Looking forward to watching another year. Yeah, I'm gonna be here as fucking long as I can, and I got some. The stress isn't over because I got some other stuff I'm working on in the background, but at least this time it's good stress. At least this time it's good and not bad. I've gotten a handful of offers that are incredibly fucking fun, and I wanted to, especially because, you know, these dirty smear merchants waited until my merch drop was over to start dropping hit piece articles. I wanted to make sure everybody would be able to buy something Foxu related should they desire. So hopefully I can get that up and going very, very soon here. Your favorite Mark Twain quote is, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Yeah, it's just unfortunate that, like, a lie can, you know, walk around the world 1,000 times before the truth even gets its shoes on, or however the fuck that quote goes. Fuck your haters. They're retarded. They truly are. They truly are. It's actually... Like, once, like I said on Side Scrollers, it's mind-boggling to have watched all this shit go down like a decade ago. And then it's basically just 2014 all over again. And the fact that the tactics still work to a degree, the fact that I even got dropped by one of my sponsors, thank fuck my other sponsors have brain cells, but the fact that I even got dropped by one, the fact that any of these screeching weirdos on Twitter had any kind of impact is still insane to me. It's still insane that, like, it has any sort of effect. Like, thank fuck they're on the way out power-wise, because this is just absurd. It always goes back to Gamergate. You're getting a vigorous spanking because you've been a bad girl. You're sorry I lost Crime Boss? I'm sad I lost Crime Boss, because, like, even though I wasn't making a ton of money from it, like, I loved that game, and I wanted it to succeed. I wanted to see good things with that game, and I was very excited. So that makes me more sad than losing, like, my actual income sponsors, which it's been very funny, and I've been told that I can talk about my metrics a little bit. It's been very funny watching people just talk about how, like, they don't understand how, you know, I could be so profitable that I haven't been dropped. I wanna let you guys in on a little secret. I wanna let you guys in on a little secret. I am insanely profitable for gamer subs. But my merch drop, you know, the 3 weeks with gamer subs before the smear merchant articles started dropping, my merch drop was about, for me, on my side. So, right, all of you guys using code Kirsche, including all of the people who didn't use my code. So the ones that didn't use my code, I don't make much from that, right? I make like a very, 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 very small amount. Like, I buy a pack of gum with the amount I get from somebody buying my merch that doesn't use my code. So that combined with the people who did use my code, I can't do math, so I have no idea how much gamer subs themselves made, but my merch drop 3 weeks, $160,000. I'm just saying. Maybe there's a reason I was kept on and they didn't really care that much about someone who made $20 from a single stream. You know, maybe. Maybe, you know? Holy smoly. Like, I'm not usually one to, like, brag about numbers, but I feel like this is This is one opportunity where I can be like, yeah, all of the weirdos trying to get me deplatformed saying that I can't possibly be that profitable.
$50 for
Get
every
fucked,
hour of
idiots.
the normal 5 hours of
Get
Foxu
fucked.
News the Rage Mob took from us.
Razor brought my situation up on his latest episode of Razor Fist Offensive. They were talking about the possibility of inviting me on the podcast if I wanted to. I thought Razor was also anime racist, but he's been very nice to me, especially since, like, Binty Boy tried lying about him, and he smacked Binty Boy so hard that he actually deleted tweets. So that was very nice to see. That was very nice to see. He is, again, someone who's only ever been nice to me, and you guys know how I feel about that. If someone is willing to be nice to me, I am willing to be nice to them. That's literally all it takes. The Kirsche is a simple creature like men. Just be nice to her. Razor was very polite that time you were on side scrollers together. Yeah, he was. It was funny seeing like the fucking people harassing me be like, Kirsche emulated Razor's aesthetic. That means she's a longtime fan. I was like, this is the synthetic man shit all over again. Like, I can't just do something fun to, like, show respect to a guest that I have on another podcast with me. I can't just do something funny to you people. Razor used to be wary around VTubers, but he likes me in the collabs that I shared. Aw, that's very sweet. That's very sweet. What's the name of that guy that, like, went to the KKK people and made them less racist towards black people? I never remember his name. What's that guy's name? I am the Daryl Davis of VTubers. I infiltrate flesh tuber space and make them anime racist less once at a time. Go, go, go. Also, apparently someone was trying to log into my Twitter account, which is also what caused the delay. Apparently someone triggered enough security alert things on my Twitter account that Twitter auto-logged me out and needed to reconfirm my identity. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if it's the progressive brigade trying to ruin my life, or if it's the new people trying to loop on fucking Shadman again, which one of the people, once again, trying to loop and lie about the Shadman thing is Mediker's Archiver. Zizern, what the fuck are you doing? You absolute retard. So, Triggerpoint tweeted out, why does every journalist that writes an article about Kirsche seem to be a pedophile? And I was like, what the fuck happened now? And so I look at this, and he's got a picture here that says, new article up. This one discusses Patriot Front and their tactical similarities to certain right-wing VTuber personalities. Hashtag I stand with Anna Valens. Hashtag fuck Nazis. Hashtag Twitch. Hashtag VSky. Hashtag Nazi VTubers fuck off. Hashtag alt-right. And this says Texas Terror Part 3 Patriot Front. I'm like, what the fuck? And then there's another picture here from someone called the Spectre Report. I don't know who that is. And it says, going live on Rumble, talking about the return of John Lee Baird and his newest friend, serial defamer Laura Iziguer of McDade, Texas, and her defending John's rape of a 14-year-old child while he was a teacher in Austin. And I was like, what? So I went back and I was like, oh, that person's name is Laura Iziguer. What? How does this keep happening? What the fuck is my rogues gallery? What is this? Patriot Front or fucking feds? Oh, it gets so much better. It gets so much better. So this is the article. The Defiant Collective. Texas Terror Part 3 Patriot Front by Laura Iziguer. Life is dangerous for many LGBTQ+ people in Texas, with the state legislature and school districts deliberately endangering the lives of trans kids. The Lone Star State is at war with its most vulnerable residents. They are aided by a federal government that has declared diversity the enemy. Making it worse are the numerous hate groups spread across Texas. Dallas, Houston, and even Austin are heavy with domestic terrorists who seek violence against queer folk and anti-fascist activists. While there are dozens of these organizations in Texas, several in particular stand out above the rest. Each has a history of specifically targeting LGBTQ+ people for violence. Read about part 1 about the Proud Boys and part 2 about Adam Waffen. And I don't know what the fucking Adam Waffen is, but it doesn't sound real. And someone like commented on my post, and they were like, "Babe, I want you to add him on my waffin until I splurt, unless it means that you're gonna atomize my penis. In which case, please don't do that." I fucking oh god, that made me fucking giggle, dude. Adam Waffen Division is a neo-Nazi group. Like, what the fuck? I'm not a very good neo-Nazi if I don't even know all the group names, man. The Spectre Report is a friend of Sean's. They play squad together. Oh, that's funny. Oh, it's all looping, chat. Everything's connected. Patriot Front is a paramilitary organization that spun off from Vanguard America after the Unite the Right rally of 2017. Its members were among those Trump referred to as good people. They advocate for a white America where BIPOC and LGBTQ+ are met with extermination. How are we still parroting the very good people lie? How are we? Can I like look up that full clip?
You're putting what you're calling the alt-left and white supremacists on the same moral plane.
I'm not putting anybody on a moral plane. What I'm saying is this. You had a group on one side and you had a group on the other, and they came at each other with clubs, and it was vicious, and it was horrible, and it was a horrible thing to watch. But there is another side. There was a group on this side, you can call them the left, or you've just called them the left, that came violently attacking the other group. So you can say what you want, but that's the way it is.
It's on both sides, sir. You said there was hatred, there was violence on both sides.
Well, I do think there's blame. Yes, I think there's blame on both sides. You look at both sides. I think there's blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it, and you don't have any doubt about it either. And if you reported it accurately, you would say.
Neo-Nazis started this. They showed up in Charlottesville. They showed up in Charlottesville to protest.
Excuse me. They didn't put themselves down as neo. And you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group. Excuse me. I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name.
Robert E. Lee are not the same.
Well, no, George Washington was a slave owner. Was George Washington a slave owner? So will George Washington now lose his status? Are we going to take down, excuse me, are we going to take down statues to George Washington? How about Thomas Jefferson? What do you think of Thomas Jefferson? You like him? Okay, good. Are we going to take down the statue? Because he was a major slave owner. Now, we're going to take down his statue. So you know what? It's fine. You're changing history. You're changing culture. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the press has treated them absolutely unfairly. Now, in the other group also, you had some fine people, but you also had troublemakers, and you see them come with the black outfits and with the helmets and with the baseball bats. You had a lot of bad people in the other group too.
Unfairly, sir. I'm sorry. I just didn't understand what you were saying. You were saying the press is.
So I don't know if I need to play the rest of this. I feel like that's enough context. Here. I wanted to make sure I stayed quiet through that entire thing. Because its members were among those Trump referred to as good people. Even though he has resoundingly condemned the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists every single time that he has to talk about them. It doesn't matter how many times he condemns it. They still parrot this lie. Their leader and founder is Thomas Rousseau of Dallas, Texas. Like most white supremacists, he was an open Trump supporter in 2016. What? Are they now going to talk about how Joe Biden was supported by most white supremacists, especially after Richard Spencer decided to endorse him? Are we ever going to see articles about that? Is that going to be a thing that we start seeing? Devoted white supremacist President Joe Biden? He led efforts in 2017 to attack Houston anarchists and threaten their events opposing fascism. I don't know if you want to condemn a guy for being against anarchy. I feel like there's plenty of other bad things you can say about this guy. Why would you Being against anarchy is probably one of the few decent things he has said, if you're claiming this. Like, what? You can already see what those events opposing fascism looked like. They're semi-admitting to Biden's dementia now, so who knows? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? Patriot Front, like the Proud Boys, operates mainly in person. The Proud Boys resemble a fraternity with their love of using bars for their meetings. Patriot Front is closer to a militia. Men wishing to join are required to meet minimum physical requirements of fitness. They train in secluded camps and drill in formations and battle tactics. These group tactics are designed to turn them into unthinking killers. They make it sound like a funny little LARP. Like, all I can picture are, like, a bunch of middle-aged men, like, LARPing as revolutionaries. A federal agent! He's a federal agent! He's a glowy! The Proud Boys use an unofficial uniform of glasses and black-yellow polos, both of which have been discontinued by the manufacturers. Is this true? I didn't know they had an unofficial uniform. Fred Perry stopped selling a polo shirt associated with the Proud Boys. British apparel maker Fred Perry has pulled a polo shirt from the US market after it became associated with the far-right group the Proud Boys. Fred Perry said in a statement last week that it stopped selling one of its signature black and yellow shirts in the US a year ago because it became popular among members of the group. Chat, I just had an idea. What if we contacted, like, the Koch brothers, right? And we got the Koch brothers to fund these federal gay op movements into wearing, like, Hello Kitty print t-shirts. And then everyone will be too afraid to use Hello Kitty and the mentally ill will start leaving it alone. Can you imagine? I would like to see this dystopian future. Can we make oxygen popular with the Proud Boys? Holy Giga Brain move! Release my kitty! Fucking, despite its lineage, we have seen the black-yellow twin-tipped shirt is taking on a new and very different meaning in North America as a result of its association with the Proud Boys. That association is something we must do our best to end, the brand said in its statement. Chat, can I be honest with you? I did not know that this was an unofficial uniform for the Proud Boys. I guess I don't read enough about the Proud Boys to know what they like wearing. And this is an article from 2020 as well. I just assumed that they all wore, like, either black shirts or, like, Boogaloo t-shirts, right? Like the fucking button-up Hawaiian shirts? Or is that a different Fed group? And Proud Boys are the brown face of white supremacy. Your uncle thinks people who disagree with him need to be punched and has to resist the temptation to do so himself. My uncle thinks I'm a communist because I support Trump. I don't know what's going on anymore. Well, like, I know about the Proud Boys. I just didn't know that they had, like, special uniform that made a clothing manufacturer stop selling a specific t-shirt. That seems kind of wild. Well, I learned something about the Proud Boys from this article, apparently. Patriot Front goes even further with its militia aesthetic. Members wear face masks, sunglasses, and matching hats and denim. Doesn't Antifa do the same thing? So, by this logic, wouldn't Antifa also be a militia aesthetic? Am I crazy here? All of them are armed with shields and melee weapons, with guns concealed and ready. Okay, so they're just like Antifa with the beginning of the sentence. And then at the end of the sentence, they're just a normal American. They march specifically to invoke the imagery of jack-booted shock troops from Hitler's SS. Is this true? Have they been goose-stepping around the US and I've just not heard of it? You really didn't think Atomwaffen was around anymore? You thought they were all doing the Temple of Blood shit? I don't know anything about them. In 2023, some 31 members, including Rousseau, attempted to stage a riot at a pride rally in Idaho. Their goal was to provoke attendees so they could murder and claim self-defense. If you're attacked and you defend yourself, that just is self-defense. I don't understand. They were caught and charged with trials pending for many. For 2 years, this disrupted the group's leadership, similar to what happened to Atomwaffen. Antifa does that shit all the time. How would you know the motive if it failed? I don't know. And if it failed, why were they arrested? There's so many questions that I have. Who the fuck is Adam and why is he waffling? I don't know. I don't know. You cannot claim self-defense if you provoke the interaction. Well, I would have to see how they provoked the interaction, right? Because, I mean, we all saw what happened with, like, Daniel Penny. He got fucking railroaded. In a lot of states, if you instigate the attack, and there are some ways of doing so, you cannot claim self-defense. Yeah, but I mean, I'd have to see what happened. And Kyle Rittenhouse. That's a good thing. What is this article here? 5 white nationalist group members convicted in plans to riot at Pride event. 5 members of the white nationalist group Patriot Front were convicted on Thursday of conspiracy to riot at a local Pride event in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. After about an hour of deliberation, a jury in Kootenai County, I can't spell, District Court found Devon Center, James Johnson, Forrest Rankin, Derek Smith, and Robert Whitted guilty of conspiracy to riot, a misdemeanor, said Pete Barnes. Judge James D. Stowe sentenced each of the men to 5 days in jail, with 2 of the days credited and 1 year of unsupervised probation. Judge also fined the men $1,000 each and barred them from being within 2 miles of Coeur d'Alene City Park, where the Pride event was held on June 11th. Conspiracy to riot is punishable by up to 1 year in jail, maximum $5,000 fine, 2 years probation. Lawyers for the men did not respond to requests for comment. Coeur d'Alene Police, with the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office and Idaho State Police, arrested 31 members. Authorities attributed the arrest to a tip from a concerned citizen who had seen people jumping into a U-Haul van headed towards the... Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to agree with the charges on this one. That's kind of fucking... That's kind of weird. According to planning documents shared with the New York Times, the men in the van had planned to form into columns around the park, moving inward until barriers to approach were met. Yeah, if they had documents detailing this, first of all, what retards? Second of all, yeah, I mean, you can't really argue that. The group had then planned to continue pressing inward until an appropriate amount of confrontational dynamic had been established. Who writes this? Who does this? Fucking honeypot. How did the New York Times get those docs? I mean, if they got arrested, I'm assuming there was some sort of, like, discovery thing, right? Police do what's being described to peaceful protest. It's called kettling. Yeah, but there's a difference between, like, police doing it to corral protesters and then just random people doing it to provoke a reaction, right? Did this have something to do with VTubers? Yeah, they're probably getting to that. You know, they're probably getting to that. Sadly, while some of their number were jailed, Rousseau himself escaped conviction. Local prosecutors proved unequipped to handle 31 simultaneous cases. How North Idaho prosecutors lost the case against Patriot Front's white nationalist leader. Caught with a little army and plans to provoke confrontation at Coeur d'Alene, Thomas Rousseau had his charges dismissed. Well, that seems a little weird. Was he, like, not there? Because if everybody else got charged... Patriot Front frequently targets minority communities, so this time everyone was arrested, booked into jail. Anti-extremism experts had been watching the case closely ever since. Prosecution finally had an opportunity to hold him accountable. Instead, Rousseau's case never went to trial. While most of Rousseau's underlings have either been found guilty of conspiracy to riot and pleaded to a lesser infraction, Judge John Cafferty dismissed the case against the white nationalist leader in November. This is an important case. It should not be dismissed lightly. I tried to do what I could to not get to this point. What is that? What? But after a year and a half of delays, lost evidence, and failures of prosecutors to follow court orders, said he didn't have a choice. The prosecutors, on the other hand, blamed judges and defense attorneys for the case devolving into a forum for fishing expeditions justified by nothing more than bumper sticker claims. This seems really weird. This seems real fucking weird. Court documents suggest the FBI made prosecuting Patriot Front a lot harder. Coeur d'Alene community has already had plenty of practice defying hate groups. Over 2 decades ago, community members stood up to white supremacist Richard Butler and other neo-Nazis on his Aryan Nations compound in nearby Hayden Lake. Patriot Front had targeted the city repeatedly with graffiti and racist propaganda files. We need to catch these people. Steve Whitmire, the mayor of Coeur d'Alene, wrote in 2021 after a local college was targeted that August. Disgusting. In 2022, police caught 31 of them at once. Yet the size of the catch, ironically, may have helped the biggest fish get away. We could have asked to join all 31 cases, but the reality is that Kootenai County does not have a facility to handle something like that. Instead, the prosecutor's office initially charged all the cases separately, though they later tried to combine them. The prosecutors did not return interview requests from Investigate West. Court records show how the sheer size of the caseload quickly clogged up the local judicial system. The city prosecutors handling the cases had to pinball between the courts of 9 judges. Scheduling alone was a nightmare. 1 week, there were 2 different Patriot Front trials scheduled before 2 different judges in 2 different courtrooms, involving the same witnesses. Wouldn't you prioritize charging the leader instead of the underlings, though? Right? Like, am I crazy? I feel like in this instance you should prioritize charging the leader guy. Was this around the time Biden was talking about white supremacy being our biggest threat to the US? This was 2020? He's clearly a federal agent. Yeah, maybe the leader guy's the fucking federal agent, man. Patriot Front were given pricey private attorneys due to the lack of public defenders. Rousseau was defended by a former Marine, Kinzo Mihara, who took the lead on coordinating interference for the white supremacists. The FBI dropped the ball on evidence handling, specifically the confiscated phones. This allowed Rousseau and others to get away. Mihara continues to represent other members on appeal, trying to free as many terrorists as possible. The prosecutions were not total failures, though. The most notable conviction was of Jared Boyce, whose phone had child pornography. Like Adam Waffen and many other alt-right groups, Patriot Front actively recruits pedophiles into their ranks. Well, I think the biggest clue that I'm not an alt-right white supremacist is the fact that I'm not a pedophile, and everyone attacking me seems to have some very, very strange skeletons in their closet. You know, not necessarily, but it seems kind of weird, actually. Their accusations of groomer against the LGBTQ+ community, as with all such accusations from the far right, are rooted in projection. I don't think someone that makes sex their entire personality and their entire career and everything they make content out of, and then also talks about having POCD and being cured of POCD, which I've never heard anyone with OCD ever say that they've been cured of their OCD, while also trying to hook up vibrators to children's games to have interactions with the characters in the game that set off their vibrator, while also talking about vor and how parents can talk to their 12-year-old who is into vor. Like, and also the person writing this article, it's not really projection if they defended someone apparently raping a 14-year-old child while he was a teacher. I don't think that's projection. You know, maybe we need to check definition on that word. You followed me since today because of Asmon's good promo for me. Thank you. Asmon's been a fucking bro. He's been wonderful, dude. And like Adam Waffen, Patriot Front feared and despised the power of journalists to expose their hate. I don't think people who actually believe in their beliefs are afraid of journalists reporting on them. Because, like, if a white supremacist has a journalist report on them as a white supremacist, they're going to just be like, yeah, so what? Like, yeah, thanks, actually. Right, like... People have fear of journalists because journalism has been taken over by ideologue prostitutes who wish to do nothing but defame and lie about people that they perceive as enemies. Disagreeing with you is not a war crime. Disagreeing with you does not make someone a white supremacist or a Nazi. I certainly don't agree with fucking federal agents like Patriot Front, and I'm sure I don't agree with whatever the fuck Adam Waffen is. Absolute truth, Kirsche. Fucking sick of journalists, man. While Adam Waffen sought to kill them, Patriot Front has attempted to use the courts to silence their critics. In 2023, they filed frivolous lawsuits in Idaho against those who helped expose the truth about their hate crimes. They specifically named David Capito, who bravely infiltrated the group and helped release information on their members. This helped stop some of the group's violent riots. Capito has managed to dodge the lawsuit so far, despite Patriot Front trying to find him to serve papers, and no doubt murder him. This move by the Patriot Front to use the courts to track down their enemies and intimidate them through legal and illegal means is not new or unique to them. However, it is more often seen with less centralized right-wing movements. It is unusual for a fringe alt-right group to trust the courts in this manner. And then they put a picture of my tweet saying, hey Vice, like some kind of secret middle of the night ballot drop. I left a little something for you. Made sure it's on par with your company's journalistic quality so you'll take it seriously. Brother man, Vice is a multi-million-dollar media conglomerate. They're not scared of some sort of fucking independent Fox woman. Do you think that they fear the amount of money I can throw at them for a court case? Like, you're out of your goddamn mind. Holy fuck. This is the connection. For contrast, a more classical example of lawsuit threats used for intimidation occurred in April and May 2025. Right-wing VTuber streamer Kirsche threatened to sue Vice and their reporter Anna Valenz for reporting on Kirsche's public statements. They included support of the Great Replacement Theory conspiracy and support for Shiloh Hendrix's fundraiser. No. Migration replacement is real. Politicians have said that it's real. Keir Starmer has said that it's real. Keir Starmer is now trying to stymie the flow of illegal migrants to his country, and he's not even a fucking conservative. The conspiracy comes in when people start saying, it's the Jews are doing it! And I have quite literally never said that! I've never said that they're doing that! Why do you keep saying I said that? So what you're hearing is that these people want to be served papers too. And also, support for Shiloh Hendrix fundraiser is a very weaselly word to say. If Carmelo Anthony's fundraiser is allowed to exist, then yes, Shiloh's is allowed to exist as well. I don't think Shiloh would have gotten as much money or attention as she had if Carmelo Anthony's fundraiser for him allegedly admitting to murdering someone didn't exist. Like, the way that they weasel word this shit is just so fucking scummy. It's just so fucking scummy, man. Kirsche's fans launched a targeted harassment campaign against Valenz and Vice. Actually, I was under a harassment campaign for about a month before Valenz decided to use the people harassing me as their sources in their article, which is part of what I provided to Vice, which is part of why they took these articles down, because they were slanderous, they were libelous, they were out of context, and Anna was applying things to my thoughts and beliefs that I never said and I never did. You cannot hate journalists enough. The Darvo goes fucking crazy. I am the victim here. I am the target of harassment. Anna decided to throw stones and wanted to make himself a fucking victim. And it's like, he's lucky at this point that I'm not fucking power wording him. All right? Like, at least I have some sort of fucking integrity, you freak. This included unsupported allegations of Valenz being a pedophile. I quite literally have never said Valenz is a pedophile. Valenz himself has admitted to having a pedophilic obsessive compulsive disorder. So me quoting him and me also pointing toward things that I've talked about in regards to POCD before is not overtly saying that he is a pedophile. I am also aware of how to word things. Journalist scum. Fuck it, power word. This was the same self-reporting behavior seen with Jared Boyce and Adam Waffen leaders John Denton and James Mason. Kirsche fed this tide of harassment and death threats by engaging in the deliberate smear and dehumanization of Valenz, by reading erotica live on Twitch, a TOS violation that earned her a one-day ban. And my contention was, why is reading Anna Valenz fanfiction a TOS violation when Anna Valenz is allowed to act out said fanfiction on their Twitch channel? Why weren't they banned for something that they've been acting out on their channel, and I was banned from a mass reporting campaign for reading their smut? But you know, Anna got banned afterwards, so you know what? That's fine. That's completely fine. But also, it's not a deliberate smear and dehumanization tactic. Anna made that fanfiction. They put it out there publicly. I have every right to be able to read something. And also, I didn't take them out of context. I read the exact words that they wrote. I put up their fanfiction on my screen. So what the hell is the hit piece? What is the archive link go to? Oh, Oh, it links to the archive of one of the articles that fucking subhuman Coomer had to take down because it was also filled with fucking incorrect statements. Holy fuck, man! Despite this, GamerSubs is still sponsoring Kirsche, and people are questioning how much toxicity the brands are willing to overlook for exposure. But yeah, well, I'm certainly making them more than $20 fucking dollars. And also, I'm not a Nazi sympathizer. And also, why are you still trying to attack my sponsors, you disgusting freaks? What are you? You are a news conglomerate, and I am a single fucking woman. What are you doing? What is this? Holy shit. I fed the tide of harassment. Anna, maybe you shouldn't fucking throw stones from glass houses. I've told people to not do harassment. I've told people I don't condone harassment. But if you're gonna launch attacks, you can't be surprised if other people completely unrelated to me not only dig up shit from your past, but also get fucking mad at you for being a disingenuous twat. Like, that's not my problem, dude. I can say all I want, but I can't control other people. I've banned people for starting shit in other communities. I've banned people that I've seen doing, like, overt, threatening behavior. What have you done? What have you done for all the harassment I've been getting? What have you done for all of your erroneous, libelous reporting that Vice took down because it was libelous? Wait, you were supposed to be muzzled, but you're still talking about me on social media. What's the deal with that? Your campaign of harassment against me has caused things like, I don't know, this person to say, did everyone just forget how Kirsche groomed and tried to sexually assault several preteen boys a year back? No idea how this pedo still has a platform. I thought Elon Musk was against child predators. If we're gonna play the every single person that insults me is somehow part of your team game, would this not be directly your fault, Anna? Would this person not be a direct result of your harassment campaign against me if we're gonna play that fucking game? Anna Valenz would end up being driven off of social media with Vice bending the knee and removing the articles Kirsche didn't like. Mish Solomon, a journalist based in Johannesburg, South Africa, stated on Blue Sky, abusing journalists until they're forced to go into hiding is unacceptable. Fuck you. Fuck you, you sniveling, whiny, little disingenuous cunts. I don't even need a slur to describe how disgusted I am by you. I've been sitting here being harassed since fucking March, having people campaign against my sponsors to get them to drop me because you want me financially ruined. I didn't run off the internet. I didn't deactivate my social media accounts despite death threats, despite people telling me to kill myself, despite people doxing me and spreading my home address all over both Blue Sky and Twitter. You fucking piece of shit! I kept streaming. I kept posting on social media. So if you want to deactivate your accounts and run away, that's not my fucking fault. That's not my fault that you started a fight that you didn't want to finish and you wanted to make yourself the victim in all of this. You are a disgusting person. Did these bitch-ass motherfuckers just use the South Africans to bolster their bullshit? Yeah. You've actually been harassed. These people are just whining about online repercussions for starting that? Yeah. You legit stood up to the powers that be. How does it feel? I feel like Matt Walsh's fucking speech makes a lot of sense right now.
To any of the smear merchants on any side of the aisle from any faction who have been spreading this story and demanding that I issue a statement, here is my statement to you. I apologize for nothing. I owe you nothing. I will not clarify anything for you or explain anything to you. I know what you're doing. I know the game you're playing. And if on some incredibly obscure chance any of you are sincerely offended or hurt or outraged or concerned, I don't care.
Bitchmate, subhuman journos. You think you hate journalists, but you don't hate them enough. Like, the more I read, the more angry I get at how, like, just disturbed these people are. They did a federal crime. They get what they fucking deserve. She's starting to glow. Death threats from Kirsche's fans aimed at Anna Valenz. Should I start? Adding the FBI is not a death threat. What the fuck are you talking about? How is adding the FBI a death threat? Come the fuck on, dude. Come the fuck on. The use of fans to engage in harassment and death threats is an established tactic of alt-right pundits and movement leaders. I'm not a movement leader! I'm a fucking anime fox! What do you mean? Holy shit, man! By publicly saying they oppose harassment, but doing nothing to disavow, they can remain legally above any actions the groups they lead commit. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Anna has not once opposed harassment or disavowed everyone who's gone after me since their fucking smear piece articles. Well, I've done that exact thing! And I've even banned people! Like, what? Nothing is good enough for these people. They will continue lying about you. This article is how you radicalize people. This article is how people go, if I can't do anything, I might as well just become what you call me. Because, like, this is insanity. This is insane. This approach is known as stochastic terrorism. Matt Walsh, my favorite stochastic terrorist. Did you ever think you would be living in a timeline where you stand shoulder to shoulder with an anime? Do you still think we are demonic? Oh, I didn't even make a documentary and I'm a stochastic terrorist. I feel like Matt Walsh has done a fucking lot more than I have. Holy shit. I'm not saying bad thing. I'm saying, like, he's made documentaries. He's been reporting on shit a lot more than I have. He's, like, done tangibly effective things. This is crazy. This is insane to me. Kirsche's fans can't possibly be stupid enough to think this I'm not touching you ass shit is nothing. There's a literal 100% chance that anyone she broadcasts in her passive-aggressive tantrums will be hit with every kind of abusive comment and slur imaginable. Kirsche just casually sending her followers and 2,000 follower VTubers who talk shit about her. Most definitely the sign of someone who can be trusted with sponsors and isn't crashing out. This is in response to my I'm a Fox tweet. This is in response to someone calling. They cropped out what the person said. This person was calling for more hate and harassment against me and then called me slurs. And they think that me responding to someone calling for more hate and harassment against me is me sending people at them. This, again, like, complete delusion, trying to make me out as an aggressor and not the victim in the situation. Like, the Darvo goes fucking crazy. And I want to remind people, after this happened, someone else made an article on Ko-Fi. I'm not racist, Kirsche says. Her community shows otherwise and worse. And then they have a content warning, because of course they do. Recently in the VTuber space, there's been conflict between a Fox girl VTuber named Kirsche and a giantess succubus VTuber named Anna Valens. I like how you call them that instead of calling them a vice journalist. So you're trying to put us on a level playing field while Anna has a multi-million-dollar media conglomerate that they are posting their nonsense on. They say who's also a journalist. They don't say for who, though. Anna Valens has written an article calling out Kirsche's bigotry and her support for Nazism. I've never supported Nazis. I've never supported Nazism. In fact, I have talked about having to grow up with my mother dating a neo-Nazi and how terrible of a person both of them were. Which is, again, how crazy these people are. This has led Kirsche to losing a partnership with a game called Crime Boss, and her fans reacted by leaving negative reviews of the game and starting a hate harassment campaign against Anna on various social media. Anna participated in the harassment campaign. Anna inflamed the harassment campaign against me that was already going on. Getting backlash for their actions is not starting a campaign against them. And again, I have said to people, do not harass others. And then they talk about, like, other people doing stuff towards Anna that's like, that's not me, that's not my problem. Meanwhile, a black VTuber who is not as popular as Kirsche or Anna, named Nirlena, made a tweet encouraging people to continue to express hate towards Kirsche because of her bigotry. So you literally admit what they were trying to do, and then you try to say it was okay to do because you believe that I am a bigot. Oh, I see how you operate. She even called Kirsche a racist Nazi mayo I can't say that slur. Kirsche responded to the tweet by quoting it and saying, "Actually, I'm a fox." And her fans have been targeting Nylirna too, calling her the N slur and the R slur, making fun of her YouTube channel, claiming what she said was racist, and so on. If she's going to call me slurs, why the fuck should I care if other people call her slurs? Like, unironically, why the fuck should I care? She slurred at me first. Like, what the fuck? Do you expect me to be like this weird little groveling worm that just takes anything you throw at me? Like, what is this? What is this fucking zero tolerance high school policy? Narlena's tweet also caused her affiliation with Advanced GG, a company that sells gaming supplements, to get terminated. Even though she lost her affiliation with them, she's completely fine with it, saying, "I'm fine with losing that sponsorship if it means that my voice isn't silenced," according to a Discord message she sent to her server. However, Kirsche's fans claim she's not okay with it, saying that she is upset, and even making fun of her for that too. Oh. What? This is just average tweet posting. Should I pull up all of the DMs I've gotten? Like, do we need to compare like weird fucking threats and shit? Like, what is this? Check my goblin husband. What is the goblin husband doing?
Anyway, what is this here? If I can find the rest of it. And Nux Taku defending his bro tips past. Kirsche, oh, this is the Kirsche thing. Okay.
There's another VTuber being a white supremacist that made headlines. Yeah, I saw. And the only reason why I saw it is because apparently after that fucking loser-ass VTuber got banned, immediately they were hitting the Hassan loves terrorism and he's not banned, so why can't I say that it was good that George Floyd got killed or some shit?
I never said that.
That's not what she said.
Oh, maybe because you're a fucking gross little freak.
I love how he's admitting that I was right. He doesn't know it, as usual. But he's admitting that I was right. That I said that from now on...
Kirsche, you're not a gross little freak. But I could be a gross little freak for you.
Real quick. I'm gonna pull up my tweet that I made a couple of days ago. Wow.
And I think this is where I clicked on.
Wow.
Man, you guys told me about this real fucking quick. Holy shit. Oh, I forgot. I was reading that other article before we went to Asmongold. Yeah, this one I wanted to bring up. Like, they write all of this shit. And then they go on to say, what Nirlina said wasn't racist because you can't be racist to white people. You can be prejudiced towards them, and you can even discriminate against them for different reasons. Like the fact that they're discriminating against Anna for being trans. I like how they really wanted to go all in on the, like, fuck white people, but then realized Anna's white and they have to defend Anna, so they can't say that you can't discriminate against white people for any reason. They have to make some concessions here to make Anna a victim still. But white people, especially white Americans, have never faced oppression for being white. They are the oppressors, and you can't oppress the oppressor. Well, all right. I think we know where this person stands, and I think we know where Kofi stands for hosting actual racist diatribes on their website. It's very interesting. Back to the hit piece. This is most common on the outer layers of the radicalization onion, as Innuendo Studios describes it. I don't know who the fuck Innuendo Studios are, but also radicalization is like onions. So apparently we're all just Shrek at this point.
Somebody.
Streamers like Kirsche, Leaflet, Mama Oko, Hero Hey, Red Says Desu, and others can avoid legal liability by saying any of the harassment or slander done on their behalf aren't what they actually wanted, even though that claim is facetious. Streamers who sit in a deeper layer may have edgier, more openly hateful content, while still hiding behind the defense of calling it jokes. It's because you could usually tell when a joke has a punchline and a joke isn't actually a joke. It's you just saying you want someone dead and broke, and there's no punchline. It's also very interesting that once again, this person repeats that it doesn't matter how much you condemn the harassment, it's still your fault anyway. So if the harassment is my fault, even though I condemn it, what is even the point of me condemning it? Would you like me to encourage it? Would you like me to ask for it? Like, what do you expect me to do if condemning it is not good enough for you? What is the expectation here? Like, there's nothing, like, I am put in a corner where no matter how much I say I don't want harassment, it doesn't matter, and they're going to paint me as an evil person anyways. All these people can do is lie. You remember when Hassan made a joke about a senator? You know? That's why I think it's funny. It's getting banned for reading some lewd fan fiction is on par with the amount of time you get banned for making terroristic threats. They're pulling in Hero Hey now, huh? I mean, you know. The events demonstrate the behavioral link between the outer surface entry points like Kirsche and the groups that are much closer to the heart of violent alt-right terror.
It me! I'm the face of violent alt-right terror!
What the fuck are these people smoking? The actions of Kirsche and her fans are consistent with what Adam Waffen set out to do. Intimidate journalists into silence by exposing them to threats of harm. These verbal death threats inevitably lead to actual physical violence, as Valens and many other reporters with marginalized identities know well. You don't get to start a harassment campaign against me. You don't get to use a multi-million media company platform to libel me, to misconstrue me, to paint me as something I am not, and to encourage people to harass me. And then claim that you are the victim, that you are the one in danger of physical violence because you are not the one who is having people go after you in that manner. Like, this is actual insanity that a journalist would be this disgustingly disingenuous to use their platform as a journalist at a massive corporation to libel a single individual who's not a leader of a movement, who's not a Nazi, who's not a white supremacist, and then try to claim victim once it blows up in their face and they're called out on their lies. You really don't hate journalists enough? You don't. Hating journalists is something that everyone across the political spectrum can agree with. It doesn't matter if you're an anarchist or an Antifa person or like a fucking center or a libertarian. It doesn't matter what you are. Everyone can agree on hating fucking journalists, man. Since I was looking for it, here's the timestamp when he talked about masks of power.
By the way, this is what happened. So this is really a surprise to nobody. But Bionicle Masks of Power. You might have heard about this. I'm just kidding. No, you didn't. And so anyway, there was a show that was made or some sort of thing. I don't know exactly what this is. Lego has shut down Bionicle fan game Masks of Power after dozens of devs worked on it for 8 years to make it.
And normally I would be on the side of fan games, right? I'd be like, oh, multi-billion corporations shutting down a fan game. That seems kind of fucked up. Normally I would be on that side, but unlucky. You had some sort of fucking mentally ill activist as your lead writer who, instead of working on the game, spent time slandering me. Again, what the fuck?
It's been officially canceled, as the game was canceled as well. It's being shut down. And so this is the person who, this is the lead writer for Bionicle Masks of Power. It was lying about Kirsche and making up bullshit. And so let's go back over. We can see if I can find the tweet about it that they were making. So here we go. What's funny is they act like Kirsche just had a little different opinion, whoopsie, and not just her recent videos play like white replacement 4chan theories, and nobody sane would want such trash associated with their event. And so you have another person making up a bunch of bullshit, and this, of course, is the writing lead of Masks of Power, right? And it is, as usual, the usual suspects. And so I commented after she lost her job, welcome home.
The sad people is so cute.
We're sending them all back. That's right.
McDonald's calls to them.
One by one. Oh, man.
If I actually endorsed harassment, there'd be thousands of people descending on them at once, not random 1 second ago screenshot in an 8chan post. You do everything you can to make sure we do not engage in harassment. Yeah, like, I can say I don't want it. I don't control people. I don't control people. And someone laughing at you for having a crash out is also not harassment. right? Like, I've openly said, like, don't call people slurs, don't fucking send threats, don't be fucking weirdos. Like, I can say that till the cows come home, and these disingenuous smear merchants will not care and will still try to twist it.
It's so crazy response. So I see this happen, bro. You mad? Fuck, but that's just the way it is.
So, Massive Power is getting shut down because LEGO doing their typical thing where they're just like, oh, you know, fan game can't exist, fuck you. And someone else was like, I was gonna feel bad, and then I remembered your writer did this. And this is from 2024, when they tried to take me out of context for my Papers, Please playthrough, and when I was watching a Vice video, ironically enough, and the YouTube transcript had lines from the people in the video interspersed with things that I was saying, so it wasn't entirely accurate. And then the fourth thing was my video being against giving race-based reparations in California, which, yeah, obviously anyone normal would be against giving money out to people for free based on race. What the fuck? Like, that's just a normal take, man. And, this wasn't the only thing. They also, like, Asmin read out, they said that it's funny, they want to act like Kirsche just had a little different opinion, whoopsie, and not that her most recent videos play, like, white replacement 4chan conspiracies. Nobody sane would want such trash associated with their event. And once again, it's me watching, the fucking Vice video. It's watching a Vice video. Here's, like, the transcript from the Vice video. It's just, like, these aren't even things that I am saying, it's from the video. And then me playing Papers, Please. And then, yeah, don't give reparations to people based on race. Like, come the fuck on. And then, because they couldn't leave well enough alone, right? This is from 2024. This is a year ago. They decided that they weren't done slandering me. So they're the ones that put out this 11-minute out of context clip video that I had to quote retweet, show evidence of how far out of context they're taking me, and then say, if anyone wants context on any of the other things in the video, feel free to ask. And obviously there were some people who were engaging very bad faith, and they weren't gonna care what I said, but normal people will read it and understand. So this was this year, May 11th, part of the harassment campaign due to Anna Valen's Vice articles. An anonymous source reached out with a compilation of Kirsche being racist, spreading conspiracy theories, defending George Zimmerman, you can't simmer the Zimmer, baby, and saying if there were no consequences, she wouldn't censor anything in her Discord. That's how free speech works, you lunatic! Come the fuck on! Like, I still wouldn't want people doing violent threats, obviously. If people got violent, I would ban them. I don't want anyone calling for violence. But if Discord didn't force me to clamp down on specific language, like slurs, I would let people say those things. I don't think it matters if you're saying, like, hey, what up, slur, because you're not doing it in a context that is hateful. And what if the person saying it is a black person? Wasn't there an issue with, like, Facebook trying to clamp down on people saying slurs, and it affected black people more than any other people because they were just talking like normal? And so Facebook had to, like, revert their censorship policy. A lack of censorship isn't a lack of consequences for spouting idiocy. Censorship is used to defend idiocy more often than not. 100%. 100%. I'm not saying I wouldn't moderate things. I'm saying I'd be able to take things into context far more often. Like, we've had people in Discord before who were unironically spouting, like, white supremacist talking points. And people would complain about it and be like, I'm not in Discord 24/7. If you don't report this, I don't know it's happening. And so when people started reporting it and we had evidence that people were saying this heinous shit, we banned them. I banned people who were, like, incredibly high-level donators to my stream because they were saying shit that I found heinous and I didn't want in my community. Kirsche is not a member of Adam Waffen and would likely disavow them publicly. I see what you did there. Implying that I would not disavow them privately, eh? I don't even know what the fuck they are. Similarly, Adam Waffen would have likely disavowed her for her support of Israel. My support of Israel beginning and ending with, not my sand, not my problem. Not my war, not my country, not my problem, man. Holy shit. Shalom, L'chaim chat. What up, all my Hebrews and Shebrews? They went full Godwin. Oh my god. My favorite Zionist VTuber. Patriot Front has openly opposed Satanism, which Adam Waffen dabbled in. You telling me this was some sort of white supremacist neo-Nazi Satanist cult? What the fucking pick a struggle, dude? What the fuck? This is the part of the insulation of the radicalization layers. Surface level disagreements for plausible independence, but a unifying ideology underneath. One plainly obvious to onlookers, but that can be mirrored in the outskirts, like Kirsche and some of her fans can be blind to. And that leads us to a quote from Adolf Hitler, world-renowned painter. "It is the press, above all, which wages a positively fanatical and slanderous struggle, tearing down everything which can be regarded as a support of national independence, cultural elevation, and the economic independence of the nation." And I'm gonna go ahead and say that the journalists who are talking about, like, fucking economics are probably actually doing a good job at what they're doing. Journalists taking a Fox anime streamer out of context to paint them as some sort of leader of a neo-Nazi anime movement. Yeah, you probably aren't doing anything, actually. The Fox breathed like the bad mustache man. How dare I breathe air. All three Kirsche's fans, Adam Waffen and Patriot Front, express open disdain and disrespect for the Fourth Estate. The Fourth Estate and the work it does to protect democracy against fascism. I am not... what? I am not a fascist. All three see journalists like Anna Valens as an enemy and a danger to their ability to recruit fans and members. I don't see Anna Valens as a danger to my ability to recruit fans? Question mark? I see Anna Valens as a dangerous liar that will use their platform as a journalist to slander people they dislike, as evidenced by their article on Vialore before me even, as evidenced by their tweets about Alara and Rima before they decided to make me the target of their article. Like, are you gonna call all of them fascists as well? All three see people they identify as enemies, not as people, but obstacles for removal. This is a very interesting sentence because that is exactly what Anna Valens was trying to do to me. The first hit piece was entirely targeting my sponsors and framing it as, how long are these sponsors going to put up with this? How long until these sponsors drop her? How long are the sponsors going to have to deal with someone who speaks this way? What are the sponsors going to say? That's a very projective sentence, as it were. And Kirsche sought removal by harassment, Adam Waffen and Patriot Front through violence and murder. I didn't seek removal from anywhere. I was defending myself against Anna Valens' libelous article. Look into her character. Why are people defending Anna Valens? In her final public statement on the matter via her Twitch channel, Valens said, "It's getting dangerous. There's a clear feeling of violence coming out through the words on the screen. The line separating a Kirsche fan harassing Valens from a Patriot Front member organizing a riot is thin. As thin as the skin of an onion." Again, Anna started this whole harassment campaign. Like, you guys can lie all you want, but the timeline is out there. People can see how this happened. You can't just lie like this anymore. People are not going to believe you if they have brain cells to rub together. The result is that their solutions for dealing with imagined enemies are in sync. Kirsche's fans harassed journalists. Didn't happen. Adam Waffen members doxed and threatened journalists. Again, if we're playing this game, Anna Valens fans doxed and threatened me. Like, what game are you trying to play here? Again, Kirsche threatened a frivolous lawsuit. It's not a frivolous lawsuit. Vice has more money than I do. If it was frivolous, they would have just been like, nah, bitch, get out. Patriot Front actually filed a frivolous lawsuit. For this reason, threatening journalists, whether by litigation or other means, is a definitive indicator the person or group is aligned with right-wing domestic terrorism on some level. When you correct a journalist and they don't issue corrections, to their articles, and they're very clearly reading everything that you say and watching everything that you say. It's to the point where they've even dropped the silly little LARP that somebody else is managing their Blue Sky account, and they're just posting on it again, even though they said that they wouldn't and they couldn't talk about anything in relation to me or the things that I say. So that's interesting. That's interesting that they just dropped that entire pretense. But correcting a journalist and then sending their employer hey, take this shit down, it's incorrect, is not domestic terrorism. That is me as a citizen standing up for myself against a giant media conglomerate being used by an activist to libel people they don't like. Anna Valens was asked for a statement for this article, but could only respond no comment. The chilling effect is clear. I don't know what Vice's lawyer division said to Anna, but I can only imagine. As we lose reporters like her, we can only hope that there are more people like Capito willing to step up and infiltrate Patriot Front and groups like them to expose their terrorist plans. What does this even fucking mean? Anna Valens is not a real journalist. They don't write things that constitute real journalism. They make real journalists look bad. And I am not a terrorist. What are you trying to equivalate here? After Trump's re-election in 2024, Patriot Front resurged nationally, and everyone called them federal agents. While the arrest of their leaders had disrupted their growth, the group capitalized on the surge of hatred to swell their ranks. They have regained their lost momentum as Biden's DOJ, unlike with Atomwaffen, ultimately failed to crack down on the threat. As of January 2025, Patriot Front has resumed marches in cities across the country. In February 2025, they organized marches in several cities nationally, such as Des Moines, Iowa, and Boston, Massachusetts. Their Boston march came after a January 2025 ruling that the group had to pay $2.7 million to a black musician they had viciously beaten. Well, that sounds like they're kind of shitty people if they did that, and if they're having to pay $2.7 million, that's a good thing. Fucking holy shit. That's a good thing that they're made to pay for what they did. Is it not? To date, it's unknown if any of the money has been paid. Both red and blue states are vulnerable, considered armed and dangerous. Their fascist military tactics make them a clear threat to safety of all around them. Worse, a theory that the Patriot Front is not simply a grassroots hate group. The FBI's mishandling of evidence in the Idaho case is not entirely seen as accidental. It facilitated the release of several members. The Proud Boys are known to have members and allies in law enforcement. It is entirely likely that racist federal and local law enforcement are part of Patriot Front and providing them aid in their training. So feds. Patriot Front is a militia with overt support of Trump and loyalty to MAGA, plus possible covert sanction from federal agencies allowing them to operate with impunity and cause nationwide riots. They could potentially emerge as the frontline shock troopers that Trump uses to execute his opposition in the years to come. I don't think Patriot Front is ever going to rise to the prominence that Umkanto ve Sizwe was. I'm going to be real fucking honest with you. The enforcers who make good on the online death threats sent to resilient individuals like Anna Valens. Okay. Those wishing to help Anna Valens can do so via donations to her Ko-Fi or her Throne. This article was originally accepted for publication at Trans G Riot before it ceased operation. Many thanks to Joe Su, who provided editing and fact-checking. Well, that person seems like a very terrible fact checker. And also, I'm sure Anna Valens had absolutely nothing to do with this article since you are shilling a way to donate to them. That's very interesting. What the fuck? Do we expect anything more? Throne? Are they gonna give Valens another toy? I don't fucking know, dude. This is just so crazy. Actual insanity, man. But it's just like, I feel bad when these, like, scum of the earth people try to struggle session other people. Like, I had never interacted with Rosie. We've never collabed, we've never spoken. And she just spoke out on how, like, this seems kind of crazy. All right, like, it was insane. And so the fact that people are, like, trying to struggle session her over something like this makes me feel bad. Like, obviously, like, I didn't do this, but there are people who are being crazy to other people I have no associations with, and that makes me feel bad. Because again, like I had mentioned previously, this is how people try and unperson someone. They make it so people feel like they can't interact with them. They're like, this person is so bad for all of these reasons. I don't know who Goddess Aika is. But they said to Rosie, they said, "Hello. I saw your statement and wanted to ask, you referred to the situation as a difference of opinion, and in trying to complain about someone being insensitive or virtue signaling, you ended up attacking people for being the ones to decide who they do or do not associate with in business relationships." And I'm going to assume that this first part has to do with, like, Rin Penrose's statement. And, like, Rin Penrose and anyone else who had canceled their contract with GamerSupps, they're free to do that if they want to. I think it's silly to curtail your own income because you disagree with me when there's more contentious people that are partnered with GamerSupps. Again, like Tricky Wee, like Tectone, like Meat Canyon, like Ethan from H3H3. And one of the things I like about GamerSupps is that it doesn't matter what someone's political leanings are, how edgy they are, what kind of drama they get into. Everyone is allowed to exist there. GamerSupps is non-political. They don't take sides, right? And so people coming after me was a little insane. And I said this on stream previously, but in my opinion, everyone who came out and did this, none of them had a cup with GamerSupps. None of them had merch with GamerSupps. None of them were probably making very much money off of their GamerSupps codes. So them coming out and saying, "I'm going to drop GamerSupps," came off as very virtue signaling, especially for someone like Kaio, who had previously lied about me, someone like Joe Cat, who wasn't even sponsored by GamerSupps at the time. He just wanted to use it to virtue signal and say he's dropping their branding at this point in time. Why did you leave their branding up for so long if your code didn't even work? You wanted to let me know very clearly you would never blame me for the people like this. You've seen people say, "Oh, the audience is fueled by the streamer." You don't believe I need to be people's babysitter or are responsible for it. Yeah. And that was like what I said to, like, Synthetic Man, and maybe the dude has some, like, really bad opinions, but I wasn't going to attribute all of the like harassment I had been experiencing from his audience to him directly, right? So it's just like, yeah, sometimes people's audiences can get crazy, but if that was the case, if I thought that everyone's audience and everything every individual person did, some of my best friends, I would have to hate them based on that, and that would be dumb. That would be stupid. Over what Tricky said after the Trump shooting, you dropped and blocked her. You've done the same with a lot of people for disavowing me. They're virtue signaling without knowing me or the details and can get stuffed. Yeah, and it's like, it's disappointing that a lot of people have believed a lot of the lies about me. I take great care, right? Like, I talk about politics on my stream, but I take great care, and I have banned people. I threaten you guys all the time. I'll ban you if you bring politics to a non-political streamer's chat. That shit doesn't belong with other people. If I go to someone who talks politics and they don't mind, like, I don't care. You guys can talk about it there because they're a political streamer. But if I'm rating someone very say-so, like Pippa or like Henya, I don't want you guys to bring that shit to their chat. And if you do, I don't want you here. Right? Like, don't shit on someone else's rug. Let the cute girls do cute things. Yeah, exactly. Pippa's say-so. She's not political, right? Like, I wanted to give examples. Pippa's apolitical, but you don't think you'd call her say-so? I mean, yes, you are correct. She's not say-so, but I was, like, putting her in the same category of, like, don't bring politics to these people's streams. You like Rosie? She's funny?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just seemed like it was very virtue signaling, and I had said that, like, Rin Penrose, it seemed like, again, a really weird thing for her to do. I guess she wanted attention because her channel's kind of falling off, and I was just an easy target to get that attention. And I didn't even catch this the first time I read this, but we'll get to it in a sentence here. Kirsche's audience disproportionately operates on Twitter because Twitter has a much more skewed right-wing presence compared to other social media platforms right now. Brother, what? Twitter doesn't have a much more skewed right-wing presence. Twitter is literally the ocean of piss. Everyone is free to piss in it. Blue Sky is the weird ideological bubble place. Brother, what? Yeah, I know, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. The point of Rin's message is to target the company itself by encouraging them to back down from supporting Kirsche, with the hope that her, or others, could apply pressure onto the firm. A fun fact, communists and Nazis hate each other so much because they compete for the same audience. Miserable losers in desperate need for any reason. Their life is terrible, and that isn't themselves. True. True and real. And it's a little crazy that people try to apply the, like, oh, you hate communists, you must be a Nazi. Unironically had a guy on a dating app try pulling that on me, and I was like, why the fuck did you even match with me then, you fucking subhuman retard? Jesus. Tortious interference, also known as intentional interference with contractual relations, is the common law of torts. Occurs when one person intentionally damages someone else's contractual or business relationships. I know, I am aware.
I am aware. Monya.
Oh, I can actually fucking click on things in my chat now. What a wonderful time. The post you deleted initially, you mentioned me because you were guessing and saying we should say who it is. You also talked further about it on stream, and you mentioned me because you had no clue who Rin was referring to. And you didn't like vague posting. You said on stream, joking and metaphorical, if Kirsche is awful and, like, makes kittens explode, then why would you go for gamer subs and not inform people of the issue itself? So they can be safe to advocate for Twitch or YouTube, why gamer subs? The reason why gamer subs is the same reason why Anna Valen's hit piece before Rin's tweet came out. I'm pretty sure the first hit piece was before Rin made a tweet. That article was targeting gamer subs as well. The entire point was to target gamer subs as a sponsor of VTubers in general. And if they could get gamer subs to drop a couple of targets, then they would be able to further control who can and can't have a gamer sub sponsor, therefore controlling who can benefit financially. And then, since I also made fun of Anna and made a video about making fun of Anna's Vialore hit piece, Anna decided to turn their sights away from Vialore and away from Rima and Alara and to me. Because instead of just being, you know, someone that Anna disagrees with on, like, a weird stance for the kind of content they do, they could attack me for my political stances, and it would be way easier to take me out of context and way easier to make people hate me if they use the danger words of white supremacist and Nazi. And so they thought that it was basically a slam dunk to get gamer subs to drop me, and then they could go after other creators after me to get gamer subs to drop them. And this goddess Aika person once again reinforces what I've been saying. The point of Rin's message is to target the company itself, by encouraging them to back down from supporting Kirsche, with the hope that her or others could apply pressure onto the firm. The entire point was to apply pressure to the sponsor. They want to see people financially ruined, and I said this wouldn't stop with me, and obviously it would not. Media Matters did this in the past, and it's kind of gross. It's kind of gross that not only other content creators, but objectively failing content creators would try to virtue signal by attempting to destroy someone else they know nothing about. It's like, I've never spoken about Rin. I've never said anything about Rin. So the fact that she wanted to see me financially ruined and to grandstand on my corpse over it is a very fucking weird thing to do. They bit off more than they could chew this time. Very disappointed. Yeah, it's fucking weird. And, like, the articles that people were writing about me were so bad that some of the ones on the, like, stealth optional were using images of Joe Cat and saying that was me. That is the level of, like, care and research put into these hit pieces. She's literally a communist. I don't think she's a communist. I've never heard her say that she's a communist, and I'm not gonna call her one. She joined your Discord to send this, by the way, only to send this. That is crazy. Holy shit. In this regard, you could say YouTube and Twitch would be more effective platforms, but not by a substantial amount. The goal is their wallet and business relations, not necessarily the audience. Once again, this person admitting what I already knew from Anna's articles, that their goal is to financially ruin me. They want to make sure that people hate me, people associate me with bad ideologies that I do not hold, so that I am a danger to business prospects. Full mask off, full unpersoning. And in large part, this is because of the audience is far-right ideologues. Kirsche moderates for an open Jewish question claimant. Again, I'm thinking they're referring to Synthetic Man. I don't know what he said. I don't watch his content. His audience had been harassing me, and this is documented on Twitter and in my Discord, and probably elsewhere. His audience had been harassing me since January because I presented an award to Barrett Wallace, who is a black man, and I said the Holocaust happened. What the fuck are you talking about? Synthetic Man made me a mod in his audience one day so he could see my messages because we had made up privately. And the entire time that I was there, his audience was denigrating me for being a BBC-loving whore and a Jew. So again, what the fuck did she mean by this? Kirsche actively talks about anti-DEI constantly and has run harassment runs in the past. Wrong. You're right on the first part. I am anti-DEI because I'm not racist. I don't think DEI should exist because I think people should be judged on their merits and the content of their character and their ability to do their jobs. I don't think your race or your gender or your sexuality should give you any kind of leg up in getting a job or getting into college. That's a normal position to take. And I've never run harassment campaigns on anyone for any reason. I keep to myself. I barely talk to people. I barely collab. Like, I don't even know how they can misconstrue this. These people hate normal. Kirsche has said the hard R N-word several times. Proof? Fucking where? Where have I said this? Proof? You got proof? And referred to the woman who recently yelled that at a black 5-year-old child before doubling down several times as a hero. I never said that. Quite literally, provably, even in the hit pieces about me on that article, they never said that I said that because I didn't. This woman is so brain rotted, it's amazing she can even type full fucking sentences. What do you mean I should judge people off their character, not off their race, gender, ethnicity? Rage! And Kirsche is a fervent Trump supporter, MAGA, Maha, figurehead, and anti-vaxxer. I did vote for Trump twice because I felt like he would be the best example as a leader for our country. So yeah, I guess you could say that I am Make America Great Again. Why the fuck would you call me a figurehead though? How am I any sort of figurehead? What kind of a leader am I? I don't understand your logic. An anti-vaxxer? No, I have been vaccinated for plenty of things. I'm not anti-vax. I was anti the COVID vaccine for myself. I told other people, like, I'm not a doctor. If you feel like you might need it, talk to your doctor. I felt bad that people were forced into getting it to keep their jobs, because that's fucked up. You shouldn't be forced to take a vaccine under threat of being fired. Your doctor told you to. A COVID shot is not a vaccine by definition, you know? What else? Kirsche said Palestinians deserve it. No, I didn't. When Asmongold gave his take on whatever the fuck he said about Palestine at this point, I said, this is just a normal person's opinion. Most people don't give a shit about what's going on in Palestine and Israel. Most people are not so invested that they take a side. Again, like with people talking about my Shiloh thing, I wasn't giving my opinion. I wasn't stating what I think. I was stating what I read and observe and see other people saying. I was pointing out something that I can see with my eyes, not saying what I believe. And even then, I never said anyone deserved it. I don't like war, and the things that happen in war are terrible. Like, what the fuck, man? I take a side. America, exactly. Bro, at this point, we're going into so many trenches, you need to figure out what they're referring to for the next 5 to 10 business days. Like, yeah, it's insane. It's insane. Kirsche has called right-wing mass shooters brave heroes. Again, something that never happened. People want to take the fact that I named my Smurf in Paragon, Anders Breivik, as me somehow celebrating him, even though the whole point of my joke is that Anders Breivik thought he was killing communists because he is a nationalist, like, fucking right-wing person. They were children, don't kill kids. I don't know how many times I have to say that, hot take. But the point of the joke was he was a communist-killing nationalist. They said that name was offensive, so I changed my name to a black nationalist communist militia. And that was fine to have as a name. That's the joke. The punchline is that you can't have a guy who's a terrible person and use his name, but it's fine to use a communist terrible organization as your name. That's kind of weird. It's kind of funny. You might not find it funny. You might think it's dumb, and that's okay. That's your prerogative. Comedy is subjective. Can't agree with everything Pinochet did, but welcome to World War III. Yeah, if you don't pick a side, they're gonna pick one for you, and it fucking sucks. I hate these people, dude. She is consistently engaged with wereaboos, people who love World War II, Wehrmacht, and the German army. Fucking who? Fucking who do I know that is a wereaboo? I can't even think of anyone who would fit that description. Like, what? Wereaboo? I mean, I've said the moonshine, you guess. Moonshine's gone to, like, fucking underground cave diving white supremacist campouts, but he's never talked about loving Germany. And Kirsche for Department of Anime Girls under JD Vance in 2028. Moonshine kinda sus. He's the yellow face of white supremacy. It's us, Kirsche, honorable chatters. We have panzers parked in the backyard. Jesus Christ. Kirsche also supports mass deportations. Finally, they get something correct. Asterisk mass deportations of illegal immigrants. You shouldn't be deporting people who have citizenship. I have clips to back up all of these claims, and you can request them right now if you want them. Yeah, I just don't believe you. I'm gonna press fuck a big X to doubt. I'm sure they're gonna link like bint tweets or some shit. If you've bothered to read this and block or ban me, then you could have taken the extra 5 minutes in total to watch at least a handful of these clips. Since you're willing to write such long messages condemning people for such a stan, I hope you take those 5 minutes. What is this emotional manipulation? Otherwise, it seems like you're willfully ignorant to far-right extremism in order to implicitly support it. If you are far-right and choose to work with gamer subs but want to hide it, then your best bet is ignoring this message once you read it. Literally just calling Rosie Bell a far-right operative who's quiet about it in public. Like, this struggle session shit is so tiring, man. If you're not far-right, you will probably try to hear this out. No, I don't think your political affiliation requires you to hear out the ramblings of the mentally ill. If you're far right, you'll reflexively ban and run away when you've been so willing to be confrontational to anyone and everyone before my message on the same topic. Take your meds, schizo retard.
Everybody take your meds.
That's all I have to say about that person. Take your fucking meds. What is this? VTuber tried to cancel Kirsche and instead got exposed as a massive hypocrite. Is it bad that I read this title and my immediate thought is, which one? My immediate thought is like, there's been so many, I don't know which one he's talking about.
Hey, what's up guys, Rip here. So this is truly the content gift that keeps on giving. We're going to be once again talking about Kirsche because people...
You're welcome. It's free real estate. Desu, man. I wish for it to end, please. Please make it end. I'm so tired, man. I'm so tired.
People can't stop seething about her, and the people who are seething about her are making absolute fools out of themselves, including a VTuber that we're gonna look at today. Who's been on a
I like how everything has been happening so fucking quickly and so often that almost every time he's covered me, I've been live.
Day crash out over Kirsche, and we're also going to look at a very bizarre article made about not only Kirsche but myself.
Oh
as
shit!
Well.
Is he going to go after the WordPress thing?
Here. Kirsche was banned for one day on Twitch after reading the fan fiction made by Anna Vellens, a Vice journalist who made multiple hit pieces on Kirsche. Kirsche has now been unbanned after that, and the articles, of course, have been removed by Vice. And Anna Vellens has been nuked off of Twitter. They are now hiding on Blue Sky, and other people are now picking up the pieces and continuing the good fight for Anna Vellens, including this person right here, this Laura individual, an independent Latinx reporter who made this Pulitzer Prize-winning article right here, titled "Texas Terror Part 3: Patriot Front." Now, you might be asking yourself, Rev, what does this have to do with VTubers? Well, let me tell you.
That's a great question.
Here, they compare these groups to Kirsche. Yes, they are comparing Kirsche to a neo-Nazi terrorist group. Why, you may ask? Because she threatened legal action against Vice for their hit pieces. Yes, apparently using courts is a dog whistle for being a part of a neo-Nazi group. This is...
I am too small and fluffy to be a threat to national security!
How desperate they're getting. This is literally like the argument where people are like, oh, did you just drink a glass of water? Guess who else drinks water?
Hitler.
Hitler. Like, that's how desperate they're getting with these attempted gotchas. And let's continue on to my cameo right here. So in this section, they say, this is most common on the outer layers of the radicalization onion. Radicalization onion. That is a terminally online phrase. And they say streamers like Kirsche, Leaflet, Mama Oko, Hero Hey, Rev Says Desu, and others can avoid legal liability by saying,
"Mine comrades, when is the next meeting to plan world destruction?"
I must begin to plan our strategy. Assemble the staff.
Any of the harassment or slander done on their behalf aren't what they actually wanted, even though that claim is facetious. Streamers who sit in a deeper layer may have edgier, more openly hateful content while still hiding behind the defense of calling it jokes. wow, it's so great to have some random journalist tell you how you think.
Yeah,
like, apparently
right.
This person understands how my brain works. They understand my thoughts more than me, apparently. So they know the intentions of myself whenever I say or do anything online. This person knows.
It's great to wake up and open Twitter and find out what I believe in today, because that just seems what my life is now.
I do not. So I'm glad they're sharing how I think to me. It's great. Thank you so much for that. But they continue on to compare Kirsche to another violent group called Atomwaffen. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. It's another neo-Nazi group. And they go down here and clarify she's not a member of the group and would likely disavow them publicly. So what are we talking about? Why are you even bringing them up in the first place? This is absolutely insane, the levels these people go. They basically have to create a caricature of what you are. And in this case, they have to go so far to compare you to actual neo-Nazi terrorist groups because they can't handle someone who has a different opinion than them. And there are other people who are still fuming about Kirsche, including this YouTuber named Safara de Noma. This is a person who I believe used to make drama videos on VTubers and stuff like that. I don't think they make that stuff anymore. But they had a lot to say about Kirsche over the past couple of days, including saying this: Anna still has her job, so no, the Foxu doesn't win. Yeah, I don't know, number one, if I would want to defend Anna Vellens in any sort of capacity. And also, I don't know if I'd want to, like, encourage any more work from an individual who made an article where they put an adult toy inside themselves and rigged it so whenever they came into contact with players in Fall Guys, it would go off, and basically forcing non-consenting people to be a part of their fetish. And of course, that's a game that's heavily populated by children too. So I don't know if I'd want to defend this person still being able to make articles. Kind of a weird fight to pick here.
Kind of weird.
But of course, we got to talk about the real crux of why they're angry. So, like I said, Kirsche read some of Anna Vellens' fan fiction on stream, and she would get banned for 24 hours for sexual content, reading literally the words of Anna Vellens. And of course, this person was not happy. They said, Kirsche, honey, please stop harassing Anna Vellens. You earned this ban.
We are eternally in 2014. All I can think of is that fucking, I don't know if she was a journalist or a YouTuber, but that like, oh, sweetie, that like everybody made a fucking meme out of with like her putting her hand over her face. A fucking sweaty.
You straight up read not safe for work fanfic on your live stream. This is against Twitch TOS, undeniably, you dumb F. Well, I'll say one thing before we get into it. Life lesson. Anyone who unironically calls a stranger honey in a condescending way typically are the most insufferable people you'll ever meet. But this person's not really understanding why people are surprised or calling out her ban. They understand what she was reading broke TOS. But they're saying Twitch is selective. They have bias when it comes to enforcing the rules, given some of the outrageous stuff that is permitted on their platform. It's clear that Kirsche is being targeted because likely she has more conservative views, and they want to take the rules out on her when they can. They don't do this for other people that they have. It's like their golden children on Twitch. That's very obvious, and I think this shows the bias. That's why people are calling this out.
Maybe if I had showed my butthole wrinkles on stream, I could have gotten away with it. I have a clip of seeing a Flesh streamer get a camera right up and close on a little winky brown eye. You're like, that's okay. That's all right. You know, maybe if I had showed butthole, Twitch mods would have been fine with it.
One day ban, she's back, and unfortunately this tweet apparently didn't get enough attention, so they quoted their own tweet, adding this on, saying Kirsche is endangering potential minors lurking in her community by reading smut on stream and still up in her YouTube VOD. Kirsche is lucky all she got was a one-day ban. This is literally disgusting.
If you want to bring up my YouTube VOD, does that mean I need to start advocating for all of the ASMR streamers to start getting banned? Because, like, I haven't done that. I've said that it's kind of fucking weird that the ASMR streamers are getting banned off of YouTube, of all places. Like, I don't listen to their content, but, like, why is that happening? It's just a little strange, just a little odd. And again, I hope he brings it up. Because Anna Vellens was actually doing like the cam content with their avatar, and like they say freely that they have like a burp fetish and a fart fetish, and then want to claim like, oh, this actually wasn't fetish content, by the way. Like you have the words like archived, man. Like you're not fooling anyone. This is an 18+ stream. You get banned if you're underage. The fuck are you talking about? Yeah, like. If I find out someone even sounds underage, my mods just ban them. They're like, yeah, this person sounds like a minor. Get it the fuck out.
We're not doing this. You really want to make this standard for other people. Basically saying you are putting people in danger if you have any sort of adult themes on your stream. That is what they're running with here. Imagine extending that logic to everything. I haven't heard one word from this individual about lewd tubers who are on Twitch without age restrictions on their content, doing very sexual content. But Kirsche, with an 18+ warning on her stream and across all of her accounts, is somehow getting singled out in this situation. And unfortunately for this person, you can start looking at their own content. If you truly believe that you shouldn't show anything on stream that would be inappropriate for a child watching, well, guess what? We're going to apply that to your content as well. So here's one of their recent streams, Gooning Tuesday. Yes, they're bringing out the jiggle physics, which of course they're playing Nike, And here's a clip from it. This is what they're playing and doing on their own stream while saying that Kirsche is endangering children because they read a fan fiction.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, I was not expecting that. Oh my god! Oh my! Oh my god! These are so dumb over here, bro.
Yeah, would you play this in front of children? I don't think so. So if you're gonna hold Kirsche to the standard, well, guess what? It's gonna be held to you as well. And also kind of very ironic. They're playing Nikke while claiming to be also anti-lolly, despite the fact that there's lolly fan service in Nikke. Just another example of their hypocrisy. But also, you can find this on their pinned tweet. This is their pinned tweet talking about the type of content that they share with their audience.
The only one I'm hurting is myself and you guys who choose to listen to me talk about how thirsty I am over a fictional character that does not exist and how much I want them to rail me. But that's besides the point.
So again, criticizing Kirsche for reading a fan fiction on her stream because it's endangering children who might be in the audience, but you can talk about fictional characters railing you on your stream. And your audience understands that dynamic according to them. So what are we talking about here? Hypocrisy is through the roof. Now, of course, they would also defend Anna Vellens. Yes. They thought this is appropriate for Twitch. What's being played up here, I will not unmute. It is literally far okay, that they're screaming. Anna Vellens. And they defend this and say that this is not explicit in comparison to reading a fan fiction. That
Brother, you can't show, like, flesh feet cam on Twitch because Twitch mods understand that flesh foot cam is only there for a foot fetish. Someone who's talked about having burp and fart fetishes, putting out burp and fart fetish content, like, you can't weasel your way out of that one, baby. Normal people might not find that erotic, but it's definitely done for that purpose.
Anna also wrote, it's insane. Well, of course, Twitch felt a little differently. Anna has been banned on Twitch. But of course, people were pointing out in the replies, and she would hide many people's comments saying this, where they point out that Kirsche has the highest restriction available and bans minors on site. And they say, guess what, buddy? Minors don't have to be in chat. They can be lurking. This is why the no explicit not safe for work rule exists on Twitch, because unfortunately Twitch and YouTube is not an 18+ platform, so kids are there. Again, we've proven with your Twitch streams that you don't follow your own rules here. And now you've mentioned YouTube, so let's check out your YouTube as well.
Oh boy.
Oh, look at that. A 5-minute video talking about your favorite...
Holy fucking shit, man! The hypocrisy is off the charts. What a fucking cunt.
positions in a human centipede situation. And honestly, the way they go into graphic detail about how they would want to function in this, it kind of makes sense that they were defending that Anna Vellens clip. I mean, it really just kind of goes one in one. But also they got stuff like this, where they were reading that copy pasta about boy smell. Again, if we're not just talking about not safe for work fan fiction, you are saying these things are wrong because you believe there's children in these people's audiences. Would you read this in front of a child? No, you wouldn't. And you're holding other people to that standard, so guess what? It's going to be applied to you. And you definitely wouldn't be uploading something like this called period trackers are for gooners, and then you say stuff like this in the video.
You know, it never occurred to me that one day I'd be yapping about how a period tracker being added into a video game would suddenly be the spark of controversy because some people from the cesspool side of the internet who have never talked to a real woman in their lives suddenly think that periods are gooner material. Like, huh? What the hell do you mean by that? The only ones gooning about periods, you know, the thing where women bleed monthly, are probably vampires who want to eat that thing out. Now, on the other hand, if you're a female vampire with short blonde messy hair with a hot red fur boa on one shoulder and your name is Sancho, you're always welcome in my house, bestie. For the love of God, please. Periods are not something uterus havers can control. It is not sexy to be in pain for a week every month. Getting words of reaffirmation may be, quote, parasocial to an extent, but it's not equivalent to gooning. As somebody who goons regularly to a fictional vampire waifu, please, don't get it twisted, bestie.
Now, one thing this VTuber really loves is the hidden reply function. They love...
What the... What did I just listen to? Like, what? I guess if you spent less time attacking me for random shit and more time on your content, you wouldn't have to use a video game as a period tracker, because you'd have people in your audience doing it for free. Like, just get the parasocials to do it, you know? She unironically uses bestie. I want to commit toaster bath.
Hiding any sort of criticism on their tweets by hiding them. And they also love the block button. They haven't seen a person they didn't want to block. Now, you can see some of the hidden replies. They're just like legitimate criticisms or not even like anything bad. This person saying, you can't be playing that card when you yourself are doing the very thing that you are blaming someone else for. I don't know how that had to be said, but given the type of person you are, who you stand behind and what you stand for, not a surprise. So basically what they're saying is you're a hypocrite. You're applying these standards to other people that you don't use for yourself. And they hid that. And also you can see them...
Your tweets are public! Your tweets are public, lady!
Literally arguing with people while hiding their replies. That makes no sense. Why are you hiding a reply if you're going to interact with it? It's very insecure and also hypocritical because this is someone who has criticized VTubers for not taking criticism well.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
the irony
funny.
is unbelievable. And also on top of that, they're celebrating it using the block button. This is very weird behavior. They're saying, honestly, going through a lot in real life, but blocking bigots is a distraction. Thanks, Kirsche. Your fan base is so wholesome and sweet, and everyone knows how positive you are in this.
You're the one who came after me with double standards. I don't even know who the people replying to you are. What do you mean by this? You fucking psycho. Where's the meteor when we need it most? What the fuck? I don't understand how these people expect to, like, piss in an ocean of piss and then not get, like, anything said back to them. Like, you can't control that, man. Like, what? True, we're sweet and wholesome. She hates us. It's like, yeah, sure, if you have one person making, like, hundreds of tweets about you, yeah, that's, like, harassment, right? But if you have a dumb take and everyone's like, hey, you're kind of dumb and also a hypocrite, that, like, what do you expect to happen? Like, I don't understand. You can call out the period video before. Oh boy. They slapped an ocean of piss and are complaining about the splashback. Why does she have to be in the Limbus community, man? I don't even know what that is. I'm kind of dumb, but also cute. Yeah, I got the brain damage, man. She was not prepared for the shit show she unleashed. Jesus, it reminds me, I don't even remember who it was, but it reminds me last year of, like, some VTuber complaining that people kept replying to them. They were just like, this is my Twitter page and you can't reply to me here. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Space. So definitely not seething, definitely not coping. But if your IRL situation, if your, like, happiness is being improved by blocking people on Twitter, terminally online. That's terminally online behavior. But let's continue.
I just don't even see a point of blocking people because it doesn't stop them from reading your shit. So, like, there's very few people I even bother hitting that button for. All right, like, if they're saying dangerous things or if they're a bot, that's pretty much what I block. Otherwise, it's like, it doesn't matter. None of this matters, man.
Right? What do they mean by bigots? Well, it's anyone who thinks differently than them. Let's be honest. That's how it is on Twitter. That's how people like this function. And I saw this thread, which was pretty interesting because my name's in there, and they were basically saying they have an overlap with their content, or at least did at one point when they were doing drama videos with channels like mine. And then down here, they clarify this. I have no qualms if you're a right-winger who advocates for basic human rights and/or hates Trump. So I'm gonna give you another little life lesson here. If someone gives you like qualifiers on how you could be a friend,
that's weird.
You have to qualify with certain things in order for it to be okay to have your political beliefs. That's insane. Get away from people like this. And also their wording here is very bizarre. So they're saying and/or. So could someone not like Trump and then not advocate for basic human rights? And I guess they'd be cool with you. But also this is such a lame phrase. This whole thing.
Wait. I don't know if he's going to read the rest of the tweet, but they say, I don't hate all right-wing people. Just
is so empty. They're saying, oh,
just for being right-wing, I do hate those that want people like me dead or shipped off despite us being US-born citizens. If you're a citizen, then you have nothing to worry about, right? Is this person tempting people to make a call to ICE? Like, what? What do you mean by that? If you're a US citizen, like, why would you get deported? Why would you get shipped off anywhere if you're a US citizen? Make it make sense.
I can be friends with right-wingers and all these people if they denounce Trump. For example, how many Americans are conservative that don't like Trump? It's pretty much the overwhelming majority wouldn't be able to fulfill this qualifier. So you're basically saying if you're conservative, I don't want to associate with you in any sort of a way, and I have qualms with you. Again, it's just they don't want to hear anything from anyone else, and that's fine, but don't act like some great fortuitous person who's giving an open door to some people. You're not giving an open door to anyone. And also you can see that they're seething about
There's
the
so
banana
many
juju
tweets
situation.
about
she was being
this.
harassed and she was defended by Asmongold. They're obviously not very happy about that. And they say, enjoy the grifter audience, sis. Again, people say sis unironically in a...
What is HFSHDGH? Is that an acronym or is that just them, like, fucking punching keys? I genuinely can't tell with these people.
A passive-aggressive way. Typically the most insufferable people ever. And, of course, eventually, they just admit you can't stop minors from lurking around the platforms you're on. This pretty much defeated the entire purpose of this crash out this person's been having for days. You basically put them in a corner and they admit that everything they're doing is in bad faith.
And I put the 18 plus little thingy here. I've only ever made, I think on the top of my head, 2 tweets that would even fall under like pornographic content. One being, I accidentally posted a picture where I thought all the penises were hidden from the Folsom Street Fair when I was making a point about degeneracy. I didn't mean to show you guys a penis, I'm sorry. And then when I gave you guys the reward from the Donathon, that was that, like, fucking hentai 4-panel comic or whatever, little Donathon reward for everyone. Those are the only two off the top of my head I can think of. I mostly have the 18, like don't interact, like 18 symbol here, because I just don't want to interact with minors ever. I should never be, you know, in danger of seeing a minor's opinion on the internet. If you're underage, fuck off. I don't want you here. You don't belong here. Get out.
That's pretty much what happened here. So this person creates this standard that, oh, there might be minors sneaking into your stream no matter what filters you have on, so therefore you need to act like they're there and not show anything inappropriate. And then this person in their own Twitch streams and their own YouTube videos shows things that would very clearly not be appropriate for children to be consuming, but they go after Kirsche because they just want a reason to go after her, and unfortunately they've been proven to be a massive hypocrite on so many levels.
Wow.
But that's gonna do this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics.
Well, someone coming after me that's a hypocrite. I'm so shocked. I'm so surprised. Wow. Wow.